What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Shorty Show, where it gets as random as somehow I know it takes 3 hours to boil an ostrich egg. With my co-host Justin Hong
What's up,
and
guys?
special guest, UFC veteran, and the guy who looks like Law from Tekken, the Golden Boy, Daniel Zellhuber.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Shorty. Appreciate it.
He's my roommate. I live
Man,
with him.
it sounds crazy how you say UFC veteran. What the fuck? 2 years ago, I was just a newcomer, and now I'm a veteran.
And you lost your debut, technically. You won the Contender Series, lost your debut in, 4-fight win streak?
Fuck.
3. Now, for people who don't know, you won 2 bonuses the last fight.
One.
Technically one? Because you got what? You won Performance of the Night, and then your fight won Fight of the Night.
Fight of the month.
Fight of the Month.
Yeah.
Is there any type of bonus with that? Or is it just like...
Yeah, they do.
Oh, that's
It's
awesome.
smaller, but they do.
So with that money, you're in Vegas now. Have you been enjoying yourself?
No, not really. Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Spending a lot in drugs.
Don't do coke in the bathroom.
There. Nah, not really. You know how it is. After the fights, we go back to Mexico, spend some time with the family, and then I get the call to fight in the UFC in the Sphere. So that's a great opportunity. So we just come back and start fight camp again, and we live together. So
Yeah. You're, dude. So Justin, when we do the fight camp, you're with Capetillo. Capetillo makes us run the mountain run, or yesterday we ran 10 miles. You're like a gazelle. Like, you actually wait for everyone to go for like 20 minutes, and then you just slowly catch up to everybody and pass up everybody, and you still somehow finish first. Mike was telling me yesterday you have like a mindset while you're running. Give me some detail about that.
I started running with Coach Cap 2 years ago. So I started doing the mountains and everything like pretty much like a good year and a half ahead of everybody. So I feel that I have like a little bit more experience doing the runs. So the reason that I let everybody start first is that for me, watching somebody in front of me kind of like drives me more, because I know that I need to catch those guys. So instead of just being running, and when you are on front, you don't have anybody to look at. So you are just like, yeah, I'm just going to run. And I push myself, but it's different when I saw somebody like you or Tarzan a mile ahead. I'm like, oh, I'm going to catch this guy. And
with my little ass legs.
yeah. But every time that I start passing one of each of you guys, it's like, yeah, I'm doing it. And that keeps pushing me and helping me to improve even more my times in the mountain, in Red Rock, like 10-mile runs. That's crazy. But that kind of like this extra stuff helps me like pushing myself even more. So that's why I do it.
Because it was the mountains about like 5 miles. So
5-6 miles.
So what is that, 8 kilometers, give or take?
Yeah, give or take.
So it takes me like an hour, give or take, to run this. What's the fastest you've ran the mountain?
40 minutes, 56 seconds.
Is that the record for Cape's team so far?
Yeah, and that's another thing, for the whole 2 years that I've been with him, he's always bothering me, because the first time that I ran that, it was like an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So it was a long time,
Yeah.
2 years ago. And he always says to me this history about Jorge Linares, former world champion boxing, living legend of boxing. He used to run that in 41 minutes. So he always bothering me like, hey, you need to break that record, you need to break. And every camp, the last mountain that I run, I start getting closer and closer and closer, like 50 minutes, 48 minutes. Last fight camp was 43 minutes, my best time. So this fight camp, I'm like, all right, this is it. I'm going to break this record. And I remember that mountain because we run that together. You remember?
It sucks.
When I get to the top of the mountain, I puke myself because I was like, imagine running 8 kilometers, like 6 miles.
Yeah.
Like uphill, straight uphill for 40 minutes, 56 seconds, like sprinting. It was one of the hardest things I ever done. But now it's funny because every time that somebody now can go with Coach Capetillo, like, hey, who has the record in the mountain? He's like, oh, Daniel have it. So for me, that's something cool to say.
I think the first time I ran it was when Masvidal was training with us in the winter, and I actually didn't know that was Masvidal because I know him well, but I was like, oh, but like at the top of the mountain, he's like the last one coming. I was like, oh, hey, what's up, Masvidal? But I remember running and I had to stop like 3 times because it was the first time and everyone's gone, so I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. I'm just gonna keep on going until I see the car, and it was cold, and it's harder in the winter because the air is thinner, and you're climbing up the mountain. What is it in kilometers? Like 11,200? No, it's 3,200 kilometers, I believe. It's like 3,200, so it's high.
Yeah.
And the air is getting thinner and thinner and thinner. It's super cold, and I had to stop like 3 times.
And also in winter it's harder. Like for me, I know that that's another thing that I was like pushing myself this fight camp in particular, because I know that if I don't break the record in summer, I'm not gonna break it in winter.
Yeah.
Because for the ones who doesn't know, up there is like what 20 something Fahrenheit, so it's really really cold. It's snow, so you need to run with a sweatband and another pant on top.
Yeah, you're wearing gloves. You're wearing shorts, sweatpants, maybe some compression pants under.
And
You
then
have
you
at
need to
least
wear
like
like
3
a shirt,
jackets. Yeah.
jacket. So we're not gonna break the record wearing all that clothes.
And sometimes it's raining or snowing.
right.
So like you don't want to get wet. Plus you're sweating inside, so it makes it
Exactly.
worse.
And on top of that cold air just burns your lungs up.
But and then we do stuff when we get to the top of the mountain.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like lately
Spling.
we've been doing sprints. But I think one of the times when I went with Masvidal, there was like the whole Rocky thing. There's like a big old piece of wood, and then we're just trying to chop it in half. But it's like with the most dull axe possible, so it's even worse.
Yeah, no, and as you say, every time that we arrive to the top of the mountain, it's like this amount of snow. So
Yeah.
the snow covers all the way to the knees, and then you are in the snow with the axe trying to split the wood.
Yeah,
and
dude, you're carrying like 5-10
Yeah.
pounds of weight on you. Plus, you're running this mountain. It's nothing but uphill.
Yeah, that's rough.
And then once you get to the end, it's downhill for maybe about like half a kilometer, but you don't want to go down anymore. You're like, oh, I can't wait till there's a downhill, but your legs hurt so much that by the time you start going downhill, you're like stomping your feet because you're trying to stop. 'Cause
So
it's
that run is
down.
like super hilly. Then it's got a high incline.
It's just all up.
Damn, that's crazy.
straight up, it doesn't even have like at the mid, because there's some type of runs where at the middle part kind of like go down, and no, this is just straight up. Like
It sucks.
Yeah.
Every car that passes me up, I'm like, dude, you should have hit me. Oh, you should have hit me. But I always feel like I just wait for a bear or like a mountain lion, because they say they only attack the weak. I'm like, dude, I'm weak as fuck right now. Like,
Please.
please finish me off.
No,
Now,
that's something nice. I like those kind of runs because especially that one gets you ready for Red Rock. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's another one that sucks.
well, okay, so we did Red Rock yesterday. Now we were talking about it earlier off air. It's 10 miles. Okay. So yesterday was my first time running it. It took me like an hour 36 minutes. What did you run it in? Because I remember getting halfway, and then I see you on Cape's truck driving back. I'm like, this motherfucker finished already, and I'm not even halfway yet.
1 hour 12 minutes. That's the record for me. 1 hour 12.
Yeah, so that's fuck.
I mean, was that 24 minutes around there? He beat you by?
Yeah, what's the math on that? Was it hour 12 minutes? I guess
Like
for 10 miles.
6 minutes a mile.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my
I
God.
did it in like 9:30 a mile.
Sheesh, that's moving though. That's 10 miles. Yeah, that's
10 miles.
crazy.
But the
it
good thing with
sucks.
that is it's straight, and it does get a little hot. Yesterday was a nice day, but like there's one I was running in front of Tarzan, and Tarzan is a little taller than you, right?
Yeah.
Tarzan, you're 6'1", Tarzan's like 6'3", 6'4", and he's very tall and skinny. And I'm running this, and I know Tarzan's behind me, and I'm like, oh fuck, he's gonna pass me up because he got longer legs. And I'm going, and I'm like, oh man, 1 mile done. He hasn't passed me up. I must be doing well. He hasn't passed me up 2, 3, 4 miles in. And out of nowhere, there's a downhill, and you just see, I'm just like, man, I'm going fast. And you just see Tarzan with his long old legs, like taking strides. I'm like, fuck, no, he's gone. And he disappeared.
But that's a nice part there because you need also, that's another thing. Like when you get to know the road, kind of like, how, when to push yourself, when to go like slow.
Right, when you get familiar with the course.
Yeah, because Red Rock is like some a little bit downhill, uphill. So you need to kind of like know, all right, now it's a big downhill. I can kind of like just let me roll with the hill and go a little bit faster, and then you slow the pace. And it's funny because you need to be smart for running, especially as a fighter. Because
Yeah.
another thing that Shorty has been saying to me is like you need to be aware of your knees because that's something that completely suck. Like the first times that I run that, I remember my knees were like swallow and hurting, and kind of like you need to understand like you can be sprinting for a whole 10 miles. So
Yeah.
that's another thing that you need to be aware.
It's a process because when we run the hill, running uphill is a lot of muscle. So it's like, okay, cool. But running downhill, you're stomping most of the time. So it's added pressure to your joints. Me, I run with knee braces just in case, even if I don't feel it, just in case. And we were doing the 10 miles yesterday. I think I got to mile 9. I had one more. And I was like, oh, my hips, my butt are starting to get tight. And then I was like, oh, I feel my knees. Oh, shit. Like, let's one more mile. Come on, one more mile and finish it off. But so Saturdays for you, again, for me, I do nothing. Saturdays, you do the run, and that's it for the rest of the day?
Yeah, that's it for just chilling, go sauna, hot tub, a cold plunge, different stuff just to recover. Sometimes we do hyper break chamber, especially we are a month away from the fight. So
Yes.
I used to do like hyper break chamber, red light bed, stuff to recover the body because as a professional athlete, sometimes, and that's my case, because I'm still kind of like new into this like lifestyle. So I didn't used to do a lot of recovery.
Yeah.
Because, I started fighting at 17 years old. So kind of like I recover just by sleeping and eating. But now I start like getting hurt and my body doesn't recover as it used to. So I start understanding that, okay, I finish running. Even if I don't want to, I need to go and do some hot tub or
whatever for
punch,
recovery.
whatever, just from recovery. And on Sundays, we usually sleep or we hang out with the guys, with Coach Christian, with you guys, just for walking, keep a little steps in the body,
And so for example, like I'm the guest in the room. He was, how many people so far? It's like 4 people in the room with me right now.
Right now.
So far, I mean, there's 6 beds in that room. So in one bedroom, there's 6 beds, 1 bathroom.
Oh gosh.
So we go in and out. Like yesterday, I went to I just finished taking a shower and I'm like washing my hands in the sink. Lazy comes in. It's not even his bathroom. Lazy comes in, pees, and then showers. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It's just like a typical guy's locker room in a sense. And people go in and out. Like no one cares. And the fucked up part was I went to the bathroom after you used it. I'm like, fuck, he probably took a shit. And there's a closet in the back, which is all my stuff. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go through. Fuck, it smells like shit. All right, let me go use the other bathroom. I go in the other bathroom and Lazy just walks out. I'm like, fuck, it smells like shit. Oh, god damn it.
He's just living in a frat house, basically.
Dude, yeah.
Basically,
And sadly, and I like to talk a lot of shit, is they eat all our supplements. Like, have your supplements been taken? Like the supplements, your food.
Bro, everything. But at this part, I remember the first time that I started, because, you never get used to live with a lot of people. But it's funny because we really get to like each other a lot, like, fuck, sure, it's like family now, even Lazy. Like, I've been living with those guys for 2 years. So at the beginning, it's hard because you don't understand, like, what the other people want. And sometimes, as you say, you keep one cookie, let's say, right? Like, it's my cookie and I'm just saving that for the weekend. And when the weekend arrives, you open the fridge and, what the fuck, where's my cookie? And you just saw a Lazy boy fucking eating your cookies. Like, fuck, I'm going to kill this motherfucker. But at some point, you start, like, getting comprehensive with that, and kind of like, it's funny, it's just like a family. Some days we fight, some days we love each other, but at the end of the day, we live together, so we need to really fucking...
So that's the process where, like, it's literally the same thing where I'm like, fuck, they keep taking my shit, and now it's just funny.
And now if you stay around long enough, you're gonna steal some of their shit,
like,
right?
No, like I open up the fridge, and before I open up the fridge, I go, Mike, you want to see a magic trick? And my stuff is gone. And it's gone.
No, but no, as you say, sometimes I'm like, oh, that motherfucker, okay, I'm gonna drink his shit now. And he's like, hey, who drink my almond milk? And I'm just like staying behind him, like drinking his almond milk, staring at him like, yeah, what are you gonna do, huh?
Yeah, dude, there's so much shit talk in the house. It's ridiculous.
I can't even imagine with all the testosterone and all the fighters in there.
Well, do you spar with Tarzan?
Yeah.
So like you spar with Tarzan, I spar with Lazy and Mike. All we do is talk shit to each other leading up to sparring, fight, whatever happens, and then we're like, all right, so we're gonna share a meal at the house. Fuck, it's gone. Like any little things.
That's funny because it's right. As a fighters, we also like we can solve things punching somebody in the face. Like it's not professional, but sometimes it's like, yeah, Tarzan, you want to spar? And while you're sparring, you start remember like, oh, this motherfucker ate my food yesterday.
Yeah.
And you get with one good shot, and I was like, yeah. And it's funny, but as Shorty's saying, after that, we're just as friends as always.
Right.
And also, it's good because kind of like being a fighter is something that leads you to be alone a lot of time. Because, we train 3-4 times a day. So we need to drive there alone, train, and then you go home, eat, and then you go again alone. And kind of like, even if people can't see it, it's sometimes very lonely life being a fighter. So as bothering as it gets sometimes living with all these guys, I love it just because I know that when I arrive home, I have something to talk. Like with Shorty, for example, I love talking with this guy. He's a really, really nice guy. And for example, I really appreciate the fact that he's always there. Like if you need to talk about whatever you need to talk. And he's a very experienced guy, so he's always giving me advices on, like you need to take care of your knee, you need to take these supplements, you need to do this, that, and he's always showing us things.
You need to give me 10%, and you need to
yeah, but like even those small things is like nice to have it in a house, because when you're alone, and for example, that happens to me when I first came here, I was in the house alone for almost 2 months, completely alone, and I remember I was driving crazy, and that's why Coach Capetillo is very close to me, because for those 2 months he watched me being alone. He used to ask me like, hey, what you do on the weekend? Like, nothing, just stay at home fucking 48 hours eating shit and sleeping. And he started inviting me even to the church, like with his family, for a dinner, for breakfast. And that's something important that not a lot of people understand, especially as a foreign fighter. We came here just like chasing a dream, trying to do good for our family, but it's hard having nobody. So, yeah, I fucking love living with these guys.
Yeah, it's a journey, because no matter what you go through, people don't completely understand what you're going through. But you're in a house full of fighters where if you feel comfortable, let me open up a little bit. Maybe they're going through the same thing, because most of the time they are, but it's not your life. They're still not you. So it's like the closest thing you can get to therapy, besides going crazy. It's like you said, you get lonely, and you can be in a room full of fighters. Sometimes you're lonely, But that is the cool thing, and I appreciate that. I know we talked about like your birthday, and after, so I took him out for his birthday, and I was like, oh, screw it, come on, let's go, everybody, let's hang out as a family. And I treated them out, and after, he's like, dude, I haven't really celebrated my birthday in a long time. This was really, really nice. Like, thank you, because I get it as a fighter, like, dude, we're busy. Actually, for my birthday, I left. My birthday, I had to shoot a commercial. I was gone. And my family down there, took me out and stuff like that. I was like, oh, cool, thank you. Like, I'm not used to this, So it becomes, a little bit of a process.
Well, the grind becomes everything, right? And like some people have their families, but you can't really do that at this time. I assume you're so focused on training.
You can, but the problem with us is that we don't have enough money. Like right now, I have enough money to live here by myself. But if I bring all my family and stuff, I don't even have a house. Like, how am I gonna have like my girlfriend, my brother, like in the same house?
How was he gonna take care of me, dude? No.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's impossible. But as Shorty said, like even that example, it's been 3 years since I was celebrating my birthday. Like, cause every time that my birthday came, I was like flying to some other place or in fight camp or getting ready for whatever stuff. And I remember when it was my birthday, Shorty was like, "Hey, let's go out. Let's go to eat." And I really appreciate that. You really can't imagine how much I appreciate that, because, bro, like 3 years, not even fucking blowing a candle or something. So it was really nice. And as a fighter, that's something that really matters. And not a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah, we sing happy birthday to him. We got to hang out with people. It was a good time. A good cevicheria, some nice seafood for us. So it was a good time. So for your family, because I know obviously you're a foreign fighter, you're from Mexico City. Does your family fully support this job? Is this, because I know like my dad wanted me to fight. He's like, no, I don't care what you do, but you're fighting no matter what. You can have some on the side, but you're going to fight. What about for you? Was that different for you and your family?
It was no, it was a lot of difference, because my parents really didn't. It's not that they didn't want me to fight. It's just that they never understood what I was doing. I do like
especially
the school.
MMA compared to like boxing is huge in Mexico.
Yeah, no, but not even that. Like, because at the same time I was going to college. Well, since fucking high school,
Yeah.
I always do both at the same time. So my parents only get focused on the high school, on the elementary school, on those aspects of like a life. But they really never pay attention of what I was doing, what I was like training and doing my stuff. So I remember I used to get home like, hey, look, I have a contract with Combat Americas at that time. And they doesn't even read it. They was like, yeah, congrats. How was your school? So they really never understand until I start bringing some good money from fighting, or I start like going. I remember the day that I have my first international fight, the league Combat Americas flight me all the way through Peru to fight. And I remember I go home and it's like, hey, I'm flying to Peru. And my dad was like, what? Why are you going to Peru? What are you saying? It's like, no, I'm going to fight in Peru. And I remember that day he's like, what do you mean you're fighting in Peru? Like, because he really never took the time to try to understand what I was doing. And from there, it just gets better, because I start flying to Monterrey, to another cities to fight, to train, winning some good money. But at the same time, he really also wanted me to finish the school. And that's something that fucking was one of the hardest things that I ever do in my life, like doing both. Because I finished college, like 2.5 years ago. I finished the college degree, and at that time I was already in the UFC. I was getting ready for my Contender Series fight back in Mexico while I was finishing college. So it completely sucks. I'm not a good physical therapist, but at least I have fucking paper that say that I'm a physical therapist. So
Wow, that's impressive.
yeah.
And I'm telling him stuff about his knee. Weird. They didn't teach him shit. No, I was just
Yeah, no, brother. At some point, the teacher was like, "Hey, I want to sponsor you. Look, you can have an A. Just fucking post something with me."
It's like
Yeah,
okay.
cool. It's funny. I'm gonna send you the pictures. I have some posts. Like I hide those because I don't want nobody to see that. But I have posts in Instagram with my professors, like just so
You
that
actually
way.
did it.
Yeah, just so that way they just put me an A.
You're like, fuck it.
Yeah, for that Contender Series fight, I took 3 weeks out of the college, and I go with the principal. I remember I was like, "Hey, I'm going to do a small part of my fight camp in Centro Ceremonial to me. That's a place in Mexico.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna be attending classes." And she was like, "All right, like, you do your stuff." Because also the professors the teachers in the college knew that I never gonna be like a fucking physical therapist. You know, I was just doing
They're like,
shit,
fuck, get this kid out of here.
yeah, it's like, yeah, just fucking put it that fucking grade and let him do his shit. Like, he's gonna be fine. And it's funny because still to the day, some of the teachers text me like, "Hey, you are doing it great." And I appreciate that because those guys helped me a lot, actually.
Yeah.
But, you know, that kind of like that was my journey. I know it's a lot of different that a lot of people, you know, because we as a fighters came from a lot of different backgrounds, you know. There's guys that came from nothing, and I respect that a lot. But then it's the guys like me, you know, like I have the opportunity to go to college, and I didn't want it to just don't take it, you know, because my parents really work hard. We have a very difficult situation in my family a good like 6 years ago, where my father didn't have a job for almost 2 years. So he started painting houses and doing all this stuff to kind of like just support us.
Yeah.
My aunts, my uncles give us money like to keep eating.
Yeah.
So I remember watching this and I was like, no, I don't want this for my life. I really need to start working hard. When I started seeing that and I saw that my parents really work hard to get me in school and to get me with studies, I was like, all right, I'm going to finish this, but I'm also want to be a fighter. So that's why I decided to do both, you know, kind of like for my parents and for me too, you know, because everybody's always saying like, hey, you can do both. You need to be a fighter and that happens a lot in my career, you know. A lot of teachers says to me that you are not going to be fighting in the UFC, like those guys are beasts. What are you going to do with those guys in a cage?
Yeah.
And in the sport, a lot of coaches says to me like, you need to focus on the sport, you can do both, like, and I end up doing both. So, you know, I feel that you just need to put something in your mind and go for it.
Well, I mean, because of that, you're winning first in the mountain run, obviously doing phenomenal so far in the UFC, pushing through. You have the very first event at the Spear. How does it, like, okay, and something I told Lazy too, when he made his debut in Mexico City, I go, when do you want to fight again? You know, I know we can pick it, but the UFC sometimes calls last minute. You have to be ready, stuff like that. For you, where you're like, Spear, that's my next event. You like just mentally you manifested that like I want to fight the Spear. I'm not gonna fight anywhere in between. I just want to do the Spear event in UFC Noche. Was that your mindset? Like no matter what, this is the fight I want.
Yeah, no, and also in the cage after my last fight, I was saying to Dana White, I'm gonna fight in the Sphere. I want to fight in the Sphere. Make me the first fighter confirmed to fight in the Sphere. And he was like, yeah, you got it. And you know, I know that sometimes Dana White just talks shit because you are in the moment, and he then
just says it to say it.
Yeah, and then fucking end up not doing it. But I really knew that I wanted to fight in the Sphere, and it's also because I'm taking my career in UFC with a different approach. Because there's a lot of guys that rush into it. And they are fighting 3-4 times a year.
Yeah.
But for me and with my coaches and everything, the plan was always fight twice a year, maybe 3, but really have those times to develop like the skills, to develop. For example, in Mexico, we don't have wrestling. So for
I know. It's awesome. I went there, dude. I was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, you're like a D1 wrestler in there with everybody. But that's why I like to take my times to really develop here, to really learn. Because you know, we don't have a lot of things that we can have here in Mexico. So that's why I don't want to fight every fucking 2 months, you know. I've been fighting, and it's not that I'm not fighting, you know, this is going to be my 5th fight in 2 years. But I'd rather do it that way because I'm having good fights in good events with good exposure, and I'm having my time to learn, to improve, to spend some time with the family. And I'm still 25, so
Yeah, I was about to say, you're 25. You have nothing. You don't reach your prime until 28, 32. All depends on the person
So I
and how
feel
many
that I
punches you
don't-
take. Like me,
Exactly.
I probably reached my prime at 23 because I eat everything, dude. I take every punch, every kick. Look at all the stitches I've gotten. I'm horrible. Anyways, I have a big head, so it helps.
No, but as you say, like that's why I really don't want, because we have a lot of examples. Like there's a lot of fighters that start fighting young, and by 23, 24, they're in the top 5. And the problem with the UFC, for ones who doesn't know, is like when you get to the top, it's not like boxing, right? Where I lose a fight, all right, then just grab a hammy for me and I can beat him up, grab some
Yeah.
confidence. If you lost in the top 5, then you're fighting top 8. And if you lost, then you're fighting top 10.
Right.
And if you lost, then you're fighting top 50. It's like you don't have those.
No matter what,
It's
tough.
murderous row no matter what.
No matter what, you can't go out like, oh, Dana, I just lost top 5. Give me a rank guy. That's UFC doesn't work like that.
And the top 15 guys, they're all technically. I'm actually more scared of those guys than I am the top 5 because the top 15 trying to get to the top 5 are hungry. Like those guys want to beat everyone to get to the
Exactly.
top. Look at Bilal Muhammad, Max Holloway, all these guys had to kill everyone on their way up. Compared to like, and again, no offense to Sean O'Malley, but it's like Sean O'Malley, popular, easy fights, and then Marab. Or no, and then was it Petr Yan?
And he lost that fight. Like,
Yeah.
But and that's another thing.
I was in Bahrain in a room full of Dagestanis watching that fight, and they're like, I was just like, oh god, I would just stay quiet. I'm the
even
American.
It's happening the same with Paddy Pimblett right now.
Yeah.
Like I want to fight that motherfucker, but
Well, he had the close fight with was it Jared Gordon?
Jared Gordon,
Yeah.
he beats
Right.
him.
Yeah.
But everybody's like, no, he won. And UFC's like, but at some point I feel that those type of guys just end up getting like exposed.
Yeah, eventually they get
'Cause,
beat up.
Right now he just beat who?
Bobby Green or King
fucking
Green.
Bobby Green, the motherfucker. Horrible fight, horrible game plan.
Mm-hmm.
So now who's gonna fight? Renato Moicano, that's one of the easiest fights I've top 15. Like, not that Renato Moicano isn't good, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
if you look at the whole top 15 of lightweight division, Renato Moicano is kind of like the easiest fight in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because who is gonna fight if it's not him? Rafael Fiziev? Fucking
Yeah.
Mateus Gamrot? No, those guys are gonna murder him.
What do you think about the fight yesterday with Gamrot and Hooker?
It's a great fight. But look at the pace. Fucking Gamrot Hooker is tough as fuck. Like I just now understand that if I fight Hooker, I'm not gonna try to knock him out. I'm just gonna try to fucking win by points and move and do a smart game plan. But also look at Gamrot, the way that he's always pressuring and wrestling, and I feel that kind of like he have a shitty takedown technique because he's always going for the low single. And in MMA,
Well, he's a big ankle guy. He loves heel
Yeah.
hooks.
I
Straight
feel
to
that
holds.
that's not the best strategy, but it doesn't matter. Like, look what he can do and the pace that he can keep for 3-5 minute rounds. It's just crazy.
Well, it's funny because I didn't watch the fight yesterday, and my manager texted me. He goes, "Oh, dude, you watched the fight with Gamrot and Hooker?" I was just like, "No, but I'm assuming it's real popular because Hooker either dies or almost dies in every fight, or he kills someone." He goes, "Yeah, there was a little bit of both." I'm like, "See, I didn't even watch it, and I know, like, because that's every one of his fights. Him with Poirier, him with other people. It's like that's Dan Hooker's fighting style." But so your next opponent, tell me about him. Like, what's your mindset on him?
I like those fights because I feel that these, as you say, these fights are tougher than when you get in the rankings. Because if you fight Mateus Gamrot, you know what he's gonna do, because he have like a whole career. If you fight, I don't know, like Dan Hooker, if you fight those guys, you know what they are gonna do. But this guy is an up and coming fighter like me. He's young, he's hungry. He just have 3 fights in the UFC. Kind of like we have the same record. He's 13-1, I'm 15-1. So I'm just looking at these fights as an opportunity to prove to myself even like what I'm capable of. I've been talking with my coach Christian about. I always knew that I have something different inside me. Since I was a kid, I always think that I always thought that I was different than everybody. And I feel that this fight in the sphere with this guy he have 12 knockouts, just one decision. His not last fight, his past fight of that one. So I'm gonna go out there and knock him out, and that's one of the things. And I'm not saying this trying to be cocky or like I really believe that I'm gonna go out there and knock him out because I prepare for this, and I'm really the whole fight camp I've been getting this into my mind. Like I want to knock him out in the sphere. I'm training hard. I'm really focused on that, and this is like again, this is a fight for me. of course we fight for the family for a lot of different things, but this particular fight is something that I wanna give to me. Like I wanna confirm to myself that I am what I always thought I am, and I'm taking this approach for this fight. So, you know, I'm excited because I'm really ready to go and fucking punch him in the face.
What's your opponent's name?
Stevan Ribovics.
So it's like, you ever seen Key and Peele's like angry translator, where like Obama's like, oh, so what I think, and it's the guy in the back. So what the fuck he said? So what he said was he's gonna fuck you up. Viva Mexico! Even though it's in America, this is his land now. That, you know, just keep on go from there. So good luck, have fun, break a leg. Hopefully it's yours. Anyways, but Golden Boy. Is it because of Oscar De La Hoya, or is that a nickname you just always enjoyed, or felt like you were gonna be the prize child?
No. It's funny because, like, a lot of people are not gonna be like understand this, but you as a fighter would.
Yeah.
My coach, my first ever coach, he's almost, well, he's not almost. He's kind of like a dad to me. He trained me for 12 years straight. Raul Romero. He fight for K1, and actually he was the first Mexican to fight in Bellator. He was a heavyweight. Yeah. So he was fighting in K1. He fought a lot of good guys in K1. He was the second Mexican to fight in K1. And he used to love Badr Hari style. And Badr Hari nickname is Golden Boy. So that's why he while we've been training, you know, because I have also 4 Muay Thai professional fights. I'm national champion of WBC in Muay Thai. So in one of those fights, and this is the funny part, we were just talking, you know, while he was grabbing my hands, and he asked to me like, hey, you know why? Your nickname should be Golden Boy, because, you know, you have kind of like the same style of Badr Hari at that time. I feel that you have like long arms, like I like that. And the announcer was close to us, and he heard that. So then when the fight was about to start and he announced me, he says, Daniel Golden Boy Zellhuber, and I was like, what he say? Who's that guy? Like, I still have no nickname. But the people like it, and then I win that fight like in 2 minutes. And I don't know, like the people just like it, because I really never pushed to be the Golden Boy, but then I start getting messages at that time like, hey, Golden Boy or Golden, you're doing it great, and blah, blah. And then it just sticks. And, you know, I feel that that's something nice about the nicknames. Like, when you choose your own nickname, I don't know, it's like...
kind of corny, right?
Yeah, it's like... Yeah,
I'm the pit bull. And,
exactly. Everybody's the pit bull now, you know? So I feel that, for example, with Lazy Boy, that's some fucking original nickname. But he didn't choose it. Like, people put it to him. And that's why I feel that, for example, Shorty. That's another thing that it's really cool. Like, nobody really have, like, that nickname. And in the UFC, there's not too many Golden Boys. Thank God, you know, because there's, like, fucking 25 pit bulls in the UFC.
Well, I feel like in Mexico, too, especially as a child, everyone picks on you, so they give you a nickname. Like, Flaquito or Flaco, Gordo, or just whatever the case may be. Did you have a nickname growing up? Like, did somebody pick on you and go, this is your childhood trauma? There you go. So, like, for me, in English, I was Fat Boy. When I was a baby, I was called Fat Boy because I wasn't like, and I'll send you the baby picture, dude. It's horrible. It's not even like, oh, it's a chubby baby. I was round. Like, I looked like a basketball. It's fucked up. So they called me Fat Boy. I was like, what are you talking about? I've never been fat. Oh, yeah, that's me. That's me. So I'm definitely going to be that when I die. But did you have a nickname growing up?
Not really. Like, I suffered bullying when I was in elementary school, primary school, when you have like 10 years old.
Yeah.
Like bad. Grade, but I really never have like those type of nicknames. Guys just should like fucking beat me up, take my food, like stuff like that, but not really like a nickname. That's why I really never have like something to.
And now you're just fighting for money. It's weird how the world goes round, you know?
Yeah, I always thought like, imagine if I just end up fucking like meeting those guys again. It would be funny. I was like, hey, you remember what you did to me when we were kids?
Do you think that you'd get them sweating?
Oh, for sure, bro. I would love to. Like, not even because I am saying that I would go through there and punch them in the face, but I would love to just like see those guys being small and fucking fat. And because, bro, I have like a lot of those guys fucking following me on Instagram. Even the girls are like fucking, bro, that's the most fucking funny thing. Like, girls that used to fucking bothering me when I was in elementary school now texting me, trying to fucking hang out with me and dating with me. It's like, bro, have some fucking dignity.
Or what about the girls you tried to get and then like it didn't work, and then now they're like, hey, sorry, I was busy.
Bro, it's the funniest thing ever. And you know, I'm talking sometimes about that with Ahmed. Like, sometimes I really wish I have fucking the mean like I was that mean to post those things on Instagram, you know, because believe me, it's funny, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
You could see, I show you after this, like
Yeah.
the text that the girl sent to me, like, hey, we should go out, and it's like, what the fuck
Any
are you
little
talking
thing,
about?
yeah.
You forgot about the fucking 3 years that you make me fucking suffer in elementary
Remember
school?
when I was in friend zone? I remember
Yeah.
that zone?
Did you have like a late glow up or something, like a late growth spurt, or
Yeah, I used to be really, really. I'm gonna show you the picture.
Yeah, we need to find some baby pictures of him and like some kid pictures.
No, I was
Yeah.
small and really, really skinny. At 13 years old, I was weighing like 90 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So I was
Okay.
really laying, and I grew up kind of like weird because my arms grow first, and then you know like the feet, and then like
Yeah.
it's kind of
It
weird
just
the way
popped
that
out different way.
yeah, it was funny. It was really funny. Look, this was my first kickboxing tournament. This was almost 12 years ago. Actually, it was 13 years ago because I'm 25. That was when I was 12.
Oh, you look like you're my height.
kind of like a monkey? Yeah,
Yeah.
I see it.
El mono.
Yeah.
But I mean, now you look great, right? There's no like modeling deals, anything like that out there for you.
no.
Dude,
no,
it
no.
pisses me off because he's like naturally good looking.
Yeah.
And he's so nice. So you want to hate on him more?
Right. I'm trying to find something I don't like about him, but he's
Like,
got great
dude.
tattoos, got a nice watch.
Dude, what's fucked up is like I just saw him. Obviously, we live in the same house. So I walk in, you finish taking the bath. I was like, fuck, he smells like shit. And he's getting ready. I was like, God damn it, Danny. All right, well, I'll see you at the studio. And he's like, hey, you want some Starbucks? I'm like, no, I'm good. Thank you. And then he shows up all dappered up, all nice. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like,
Yeah, and
look, what the fuck? You look good, dude. Like,
And it was
I'm not,
funny.
I'm not gay, but damn, dude. Like,
no, but it was funny because I was taking a shit and Shorty knocks the door like, hey, is there somebody in the bathroom? I'm like, yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
And then I go out like in my fucking pajamas and everything, and Shorty's like, fuck, this guy just take a shit.
And the funny thing is, like, he walks out and says nothing. You know, like he knows he's in trouble. You know,
He knows he's in trouble.
Like he knows he fucked up in some sort of way. And he was just like, good luck. And I'm like, fuck, god damn it.
This is coming up later today on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh,
Bro,
God.
that's the funniest thing. Like when you live with other guys and you just take a shit. Sometimes I even wait inside, like just fucking 2 minutes, bro. Just give me 2 minutes to. I don't
Just
want you
let
to
it air
get
out.
in.
Just let it air out.
For example, with Lazy is the same, bro.
Lazy don't give a fuck though. Lazy,
Yeah. Lazy's just like an even.
dude. I walked into his room. He's laying down like a sloth, like this, just straight on his. And now he hears, and I'm like, okay, like whatever. And you're like, dude, what the fuck? Like, what'd you eat? But that Lazy don't give a fuck. Like Lazy's that type of person that's very
just don't give
straightforward.
a
Like
fuck.
he's apologetic. He'd be like, oh, hey man, I'm sorry, but I gotta shit myself. Like Lazy just shits himself. He doesn't care. And you could be behind him running. All you hear like the worst movie sound effects, and that's Lazy. And he just looks back and he's like,
Yeah, and it's
And
funny
just
because he even
runs.
says to you, like, my body's saying hi, and he just keep running.
My
Yeah,
body's saying
bro,
hi.
bro, why? Even you can be like, because this is another thing that happens, you know, like on Sundays sometimes we just get all close and we are watching movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we are like sitting down in the couch, and somehow the fucking couch start like vibrating, like, and you're like, fuck, Lazy, really?
like the funny thing is like you know it's him. It's no one
Oh,
else.
yeah.
You're like, Lazy, and it's gonna smell. It's going to smell.
No, that's the worst.
It's his butthole. It's going to smell. Like, it's just that's. You'll see the next one. He'll probably fart on the show.
Oh god. So where does everybody beat their meat?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
What?
Where is everyone?
Oh,
Drain the snake.
I like how. Real quick. So his bed is the only one that has like a cover covering him. You know. So like a blanket. So it's bunk beds.
Okay.
You know, top and bottom. He has the bottom one.
Okay.
And so he has a blanket under the top bunk that folds down so it covers him.
Okay.
So you can't see him.
but you know who showed me that?
Hmm.
Lazy boy.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he's always jerking off in the house, bro. Like, that's funny as fuck. Yeah, no. Because I do that just because, you know, like I don't know. I never
Yeah,
like people
sure.
staring at me when I'm sleeping.
But I'm jacking off.
Yeah, like, but I really never jerk off
Yeah.
in the room because it's fucking weird, you know? Like, I have 3 motherfuckers around me. Like, I wouldn't do it, you know? All what you're gonna hear at night is like,
Yeah. Well,
So-
you know what's fucked up? Ahmed. I'm sorry. So this is why you're behind the camera so people don't see you. Fucking Lazy doesn't. Again, Lazy's a person he doesn't. Give a
oh, I
fuck.
remember.
Dude. He's like, man, I gotta. He's like, man, I gotta piss, and he just walked into the bathroom, and he's like, Ahmed was jerking off. Like, I guess he was just like looking at his phone or doing whatever, you know.
Oh
And
shit!
From
lazy.
what he said is like you were either in the shower or something, but you had your phone, and he goes, "Well, the fuck he has his phone in the shower? He's fucking jerking off." And then he just walked out. He goes, he walked in, he peed, and he walked out. Like lazy doesn't give a fuck. Like
Fuck, brother, that's fucking funny. No, and you know, like right now I'm not jerking off because I have like with Coach Capetillo we have this rule about a month.
oh, are you doing that whole like
Yeah.
nothing? You're gonna retain everything.
But now I'm doing a month and a half. So for 2 weeks I hasn't fucking jerking off.
So you don't come a month and a half out from your fights.
Coach Capetillo says that it needs to be a month. And for my last 2 fights
In-
that I've been with him, no, my last 3 fights that I've been training with
He's
him,
an overachiever, so
I've
he's
been
doing
doing
a month
it
and a half.
I've been doing this for a month. But for this fight, I was like, you know, Steban is special. I'm gonna do a month and a half for him, just because I know it's gonna be a top fight. So let's add 2 fucking more
Esteban,
extra weeks.
This load is for you.
yeah, this is for you, brother. Like fucking, I have 2 more weeks, no coming, no anything, just because of him. So
Now,
It's
does that
fucking
make you
special.
more mad, or like how does that? Are you just like besides the weight cut? Does that make you more mad, or the weight cut does, or it's just double together?
it's funny because I never was just spent like we live together in Mexico
Yeah.
too, so you know that I'm never kind of like mad at the weight cut because the way I like to see stuff is that nobody's forcing me to do this, so I'm always trying to be nice even while I'm weight cutting, and I always try to be like, you know, just enjoy this because I know that at some point I'm not gonna be able to do it, but I don't know if this works or not. It's more like just because Capetillo is old school
Yeah.
boxing coach and he likes us to do it. But I don't know. For me, it's kind of like it works because it's not like you get mad. It's just that I don't know. You have like something extra when you're in those sparrings. You know, like when you are punching somebody and he punches, it's like, oh motherfucker, I'm gonna kill you, and you really feel that like that rage, you know, in that moment. So that's why I like to do it. Again, I don't know if it work. If it's work, I'm not saying to everybody like go out there and don't jerk off fucking 2 months, but
what's the longest you've ever retained?
Oh gosh, I don't know, like 3 or 4 days maybe, somewhere around there.
I guess besides a month and a half, have you retained any longer like before? It's like no, fuck
no,
that.
brother. Before I started having like girlfriends, fucking, I jerk off like 5 times a day.
Right? Like at
Yeah,
least once
'cause-
for every meal, right?
Yeah, because I was like fucking, what, 16, 17 years old? I was like in the prime, brother. Every
Dude.
fucking 2 hours, I was like,
I actually
hours.
fucked up story. That's when I lost my virginity. The same day I lost my virginity, I remember whacking it like 3 times or 4 times that day.
Before or after?
Before.
and
Dude.
after, because after it's like,
No,
you
no,
just
whack it
remember
off to
and
the
you're like,
memory.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Actually, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So what's fucked up was, dude, I'm like 16. I don't care. Like nothing's gonna happen. You know. I think the farthest I ever got was like second base. You know, saw some titties playing Truth and Dare. Good times. You remember that? This was spin the bottle. But I don't know. I remember whacking it 3 times, and some girl randomly that I haven't talked to in forever calls me. I was like, hey, can I come over? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. And I'm thinking maybe we're going to make out. That's it. Again, second base. That's it. Then out of nowhere, she just gets naked. Like, she took full control. I feel like I got used and taken advantage of. She gets naked, all that stuff. She goes, oh, all right, let's have sex. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'm like looking down, I'm like, dude, you got to try your best, little guy, you know? And I remember grabbing the condom, and I had like a good chub. Like, I was like 75% up. I was like, we could do it, buddy. You know? And I go to put it on, but I struggled because, you know, sometimes you put it on backwards. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Oh, fuck. I already went back down. I'm like, oh, no. Come here, kiss me. We got to get going. And I lasted like 5 minutes, and I was like, I can't fucking go anymore. And I was like, shit happened. I didn't come, and she fell asleep, and I was like, well, time to masturbate. Fucking got up, and I was like, well, I gotta finish myself off, you know. So yeah, it was. So I get it. No, yeah, it's.
no, it's funny. But then, you know, like, fuck, I don't know if my father-in-law are gonna watch this, but bro, when I'm in Mexico with my girl, fuck, do you think that
Yeah.
every day that I saw her is like, yeah, what are we gonna do today? Oh, let's go to the movies and have sex.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's like, oh, let's go for a dinner and have sex. And it's like fucking, you know. So when I'm here, I'm like fucking, yeah, I don't jerk off as much in the house because, again, there's like 8 motherfuckers in there, so you
And
really
then-
can't do
So
shit.
when do you
and
get
then,
it in? Is it-
Lazy
do you-
just walks in whenever he wants. So
Oh well, at this point we all know that lazy boy just don't give a fuck. You know, like sometimes we're sleeping and you really when he was staying in the same room with us, everybody's sleeping and sometimes you just really start hearing like
yeah,
Just a dry rub, no lotion.
yeah, like and even his bed is like
Oh, dude,
Fuck.
that happened to me at Jackson Wink. It was the same thing. There was 8 people in the room, right? And some guy had the sheet, same thing. And Indian dude, super cool guy. But I don't know where I'm on the top bunk. I'm the small guy, you know. I get it. So I'm on the top bunk, and I don't know where I'm chilling, and I hear like, yeah, super light, and I'm just like,
Oh shit.
and the bed is moving like this, and I'm like,
Oh fuck.
fuck. And all I see is like the flash from the phone because it's pitch black. And I look on the side and you just see the little flash. I'm just like,
Oh shit.
and then like literally 2 minutes later, oh, it's done. He's done. All right. So
Thank God.
yeah, I was just like, huh, now I can go to bed.
Yeah.
So-
No, believe me, it's fucking weird as fuck living with guys. We used to do it in the shower, you know. Ahmed used to do it in the shower. Too.
he still does it in the shower. What are you
He
talking
still
about?
does it in the shower. Yeah, like
You didn't
Well, I was gonna
clean
say,
up.
where do you do it
No.
now? Because you said no bed, so it's got to be either the bathroom or the shower.
Well, luckily, like we all kind of leave at different times. So like he leaves in the morning, and then we all go in the afternoon. And so sometimes like we're home, he's not home, or he's home, we're not home. So it just kind of mixes it up.
yeah.
So afternoons, basically.
he's in the living room like fuck it. Just,
Oh.
no one's home.
No, Lacey told you that story. 'Cause
No- oh,
look,
God.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no, look, because we have cameras in the house. You know, like in the living room, they have like a
Nice.
big. Our manager have like a big camera just to check in us.
Dude, it looks like a Scarface house. There's like good professional cameras out there, like the ones you see at, like supermarkets and stuff. It's
Yeah,
that.
yeah, like and in the living room there's one. And I remember last year when Lacey
Actually, there's
first
2
come,
now.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember when Lacey comes into the house, and I remember we were talking, and he was like, "Oh yeah, the other day I watched porn in the living room, and I jerked myself up." And I was like, "Lacey, there's a fucking camera in the living room. What are you talking about? You put a porn on the TV and you just jerk up?" And she's like, "Yeah, I thought the cameras wasn't working."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Lacey, what the fuck? The cameras work!" And we called our manager, and he found the tape. So it's funny.
So
yeah.
he says he'll expose it if Lazy fucks him over, and
Yeah. He's gonna fucking just post a picture of Lacey like in the couch like that with a porn in front of it.
Well, that's what I told my girl, because you met my girlfriend. She's been at the house a few times, and she'll be in the living room and she'll like try to get sexual and shit. I'm like, stop. She goes, no, come on. I'm just like, and she turns around. She's like, shit. You know, like I was like, come on. I appreciate it though. Thank you so much for your enthusiasm, but not right now.
Yeah, let's go upstairs. At least upstairs there's no cameras, but now if you go upstairs, where are you gonna do stuff? Like in a room full of motherfuckers? Yeah, no, it's
Is there somebody in the house, and you don't have to say names, that you just really struggle sometimes living with?
oh yeah, you know. Yeah, fuck.
Does he have green hair? Does he have green
Yeah,
hair?
fuck
no, I
you,
know.
Shorty. You
I
know.
I know.
Even Ahmed struggled with that.
All my fucking food was gone when he came in. Like, there was like, okay, sometimes something's missing. Sometimes once he came in, everything was gone. I was like, oh, yeah. No,
Yeah, because for example, right now we are always asking like, "Hey, who's this?" And if she says it's mine,
Yeah,
all right, I don't give a fuck. I eat it, but at least Shorty knows that it's me.
Yeah.
But this guy just randomly stuff disappear, and everybody's like, "Fuck!" And we all know that it was this guy. Because again, if I grab something that's from Shorty and Shorty asks to me, I'll say
Yeah.
it like, "Hey, Shorty, I grab it. Sorry, I'll grab another one for you or whatever."
Right.
But with this guy, it's like,
Yeah, nothing of nothing. He don't give a fuck. The funny thing is though, like here's the pro and con. The con is all your shit's gone. All right, and you know it's him. There's no hesitation, even though he'll never say it's him.
What's the pro?
The pro is he gets high, and then cleans the whole fucking house.
"Oh yeah, that's
For some reason, he cleans the whole fucking house when he's high, and it's like, you know what, this is not that bad. It's like you kind of worked for it, you know. So this kind of helps.
That was funny. Yeah, every night, and he does it like late, like 2-3 a.m. in the morning when everybody's asleep. He just get high and clean the house. So
Just like-
when we woke up, we saw the house clean. We knew our stuffs are not gonna be there, but at least the house is clean. So it's like, all right, well,
It's like
maybe
fuck.
I don't have a breakfast today, but the house is clean. Give or take, it's a good
Super
thing.
nice guy, you know. But yeah, you fuck your shit.
Well, weight class.
Well, he didn't make weight his last one, so whatever weight class he wants to show up at, really. What does he fight? Lightweight?
Lightweight,
So
welterweight, middleweight sometimes.
yeah,
Fucking-
he's, well, especially in Mexico, like, dude, we don't give a fuck. Everyone fights everyone. Like, what was the guy Brian fought and Lazy fought?
Oh yeah, Pasha.
Pasha. Dude, Pasha fought Lazy at 135, and he fought Brian Suture at 155. Like he just people
Don't
don't give a fuck.
fuck.
They're like, we just want to fight. That's it.
And
Is
that's
there-
another thing funny in Mexico, like there's guys that really are willing to fight and don't give a fuck, like the weight class. They just want to fight. And that's funny. It's funny that Brian fights at 145 and Lacey at 125 and they both fought the same guy. That's something fucking...
Yeah.
It's crazy.
how much? I guess what's the heaviest you've been, and how much weight do you cut for your fights?
The heaviest that I ever been is 210 pounds.
Oh shit!
And I fought at 155.
Yeah,
But that was after a fight that I really took a nice week. Do you remember in Veracruz?
yeah.
Fucking 200 pounds.
Oh
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember I was like, fuck, I'm fat as fuck. But then, and also that's another good thing about being young. I lost weight really fast. Right now I'm probably in 180, and we're a month away for the fight, and I'm not worried at all because I know that 25 pounds, I got it like in 2 weeks. Again, it's not easy, and I'm not saying that everybody should try this.
Yeah, but there's worse. There's
But,
definitely been worse
yeah.
too.
I feel that it's good because I lose weight easy. Because there are guys that, for example, lazy.
Yeah.
Lazy needs to do a diet for a long fucking time, and I feel that
His last one, that's why he got famous. His last one was 4 months. It was 4 months of cutting weight all the way down to 125, and he weighs what I weigh, 160. So think
Wow.
about that: 35, sometimes even 40 pounds to cut all the way down for 4 months. And that's why after the fight, they're like, "What do you want to do now?" He's like, "Dude, I've been training for 4 months. All I want is tacos. That's it. Vieja. Solo quiero tacos."
So yeah, no, because for me, it's like I just take 1 month and I lose weight really fast. But then, for example, Brian, for 145, it's like
sucks.
6-7 weeks just going straight and slowly going down. And I feel that for me, that's kind of like good because I still can eat what I want. For example, this is the last weekend that I kind of like have free meals and stuff. And then tomorrow, when I start the week, I'm going to start like dieting. Not hard, but like just
bringing them smaller and
just-
smaller. Yeah.
dieting. For me, diet is just don't eat junk food.
Yeah.
Because I am a big fan of like gummies and
Yeah.
fucking chips. And so for me, dieting is just, all right, I'm just going to eat the food that is on my diet and I'm going to make weight. And I just do that 1 month. So
So we're in Mexico City. He's staying at his manager's house, and the manager has a chef, and he was cooking food for Lazy and himself. And so I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like these guys are gonna get food. We don't have to worry about it. Mike and I and everyone else will cook for ourselves. And I don't know where I see 2 plates there, right? And Lazy's meal is a good sized meal, but it's healthy. It's rice, salmon, broccoli, the typical, like stereotypical whatever meal. This guy has the same exact thing, but it was like this big on the same size plate. You remember that? Dude, it was almost comical. It looked like, you ever see those chef meals where like, oh yeah, $200 steak, and it's like this little thing with like a line of dressing.
Right.
Like,
$100.
dude, it looked like that because I guess there was a miscommunication where the nutritionist Eric Pena was like, hey, we need 25 grams of
50
protein.
grams of protein.
Yeah, or something like that. But he was thinking, let's say it was fish. He was thinking, oh, it was maybe this many grams of fish, so the fish should be like that big, compared to 50 grams to be like that.
Yeah, of
So
protein.
he had these like comical meals where like, dude, this guy's gonna starve. And at the time he was like 3 weeks out. So I was like, dude, how much weight does this guy gotta cut? Oh my gosh.
But and that's another thing. When I'm that close to the fight, I really get that mindset of I'm not complaining. And you watch it because I
Yeah.
eat those and I never say one thing. Like that's the food, all right? I just eat whatever they are on my plate and not complain at all. But then when I realized what was happening, I was like, fucking
He's like, dude,
chill.
I'm hungry.
Bro, what the fuck? Because for 2 weeks, for let's say 2 good weeks, the chef didn't knew. Because yeah, like 50 grams of protein, maybe it's like 120 grams of salmon. But he just was giving me 50 grams of salmon. So, bro, those 2 weeks really suck. I remember by the last day that I was eating like that, I was all dizzy but it was good because I even cut weight on Friday.
Yeah.
Because
Dude,
I really...
he didn't complain at all. He ate it. He's like, dude, this sucks. All right, well, gotta eat it. Like he never was like, I need more food, I need this. He was like, fuck. All right. And just that's it.
Did you think it was correct? Like you didn't think there was anything wrong with it at the time?
Because for me, it's really I switch. Like right now, I feel that I'm still kind of like that Daniel, and tomorrow I'm gonna be Golden Boy, and I really kind of like drive to that because I like it to be hard. Like for me, I like to be like a hard diet, and I like to be suffering, and because I know that's gonna give me all the fucking drive that you need to go in there and kill the other guy. So for me, those 3 weeks in Mexico, I like it because all the things that I was doing is just wake up, eat, train, think in the fight, like really getting ready to that moment. So I don't know. I just like that part of being a fighter, and I like to do it without complaint because I feel that that's something that makes you even stronger. You know, like if you can control yourself just to do what you need to do and not complaining, you can do pretty much whatever you want. So that's why I was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna eat the whole day, and fuck it, this is it.
Dude, he's coachable, and that's like the nicest thing. Where I'm like, oh, here I give recommendations, and sometimes he'll do it, or at least worse is worse, he takes it in, or we go to the PI and he trains before us, and he's hitting like a new PR every single time we go in there. He's lifting more weights in the deadlift, and doing this, doing that. I'm like, dude, this guy never stops working hard. Like it's always top. It's never like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the gym. All right, gotta work out and do whatever. He's like, no, I want more. Come on, I want more. Let's lift more. We're doing a PR. Let's do even more. I can do it.
But that's something that I've been like what you can say. Like I've been trying to do that. Even for example, right now my coach again, Coach Christian, is here, and he's here because of that. Because he knows that the last month is the hardest one, and it's the month that most likely I'm gonna be like, yeah, maybe today I'm not gonna go to the wrestling class. But he's always like, yo, just go to the class, and if you really don't feel that you really can do more, just do what you can, but do it.
Mm-hmm.
And as you say, like I have this fucking chip on my shoulder, and when I'm there, I'm just like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna try to do the best that I can, and I'm always going into the classes with that in mind. Again, sometimes it doesn't work as good as it should because you can hurt yourself, and I've been hurt like last fight camp, this fight camp. I'm always dealing with a little injuries because of that mindset. And that's another thing that I need to learn. And that's something that we're always talking about, that sometimes you need to take a rest. But, after my first loss, the way that I deal with that was just working hard. And for working hard, I really mean it, like fucking 5 trains a day. And I'm not joking about it. Like, like really 5 trains a day. And I have people saying to me like, hey, you're going to get hurt. But at that time, that was the way that I was dealing with the defeat. Like I put on my head that, all right, if I work harder than anybody else, I'm not gonna lose. And that's fucked up because sometimes you can even lose, and then what are you gonna do? What I can think. But like I feel that I'm thinking like this because in my head, if somehow I end up losing another fight, I want to look at the mirror and say, okay, I did everything that I could. I did everything right, and either way I lost, I can deal with that. But for the first fight that I lost, I felt that I didn't do enough because it was my first high camp here. Like I really didn't
Just
have
different.
I didn't have all the experience that I have now, and having that thought kills you because it's like, fuck, I should do this and do that, and right now if I go in the cage and I lost a fight, I know I did my best, so I can be in peace with that. Not like I'm gonna be happy, but at least I can be like, all right, I did everything that I can do. We need to fix a lot of things, but I'm not mad at me, because I know that I did my best. And that's another thing that kind of like you get to navigate when you're a fighter, like because sometimes you want to work hard, and then you need to don't work, and it's hard to deal with that too.
So I know this sounds weird for most people who want to stay Floyd Mayweather, stay undefeated, or Khabib, stay undefeated. Are you happy in the long term that you lost that one match?
Oh, definitely. Because if I didn't lose that match, I wouldn't be training with Coach Capetillo. I wouldn't be training with Coach Dewey Cooper. I wouldn't be with Hector. So I feel that because of that loss, I learned so many things, and still to the day, that loss keeps me remembering things, because that loss also, it's funny because if you look at the things in the right way, it can be a good teacher, So it's just because that defeat that I start working more and I start doing things more professionally. And, now I'm on a 3-fight win streak in the toughest division in the fucking sport.
Yeah.
And I feel that that's because that defeat, and until the date, I like that loss, even, again, my coaches, I like that they remember that to me. Because sometimes I walk in the gym feeling like nobody can beat me. And they are like, remember, you lost. You lost once. And I like that because it's like, yeah, you're right. I can lose. So let's just fucking.
If you don't do this, it could happen again.
Exactly, and or even just getting overconfidence, because I'm really, as you say, like sometimes I'm breaking PRs every week, and I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking strong. I'm gonna kill this dude. But as much as you need to think like that, sometimes it can be bad for a fighter because you start really getting confident. Like you start. I don't know how to say it, like in the difference between seguridad y confianza.
Yeah, it's like confident or cocky.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you start getting cocky instead of confidence, and the line is thin. So
Right.
if you don't have the right people,
I fucked up
you?
on that part once.
yeah, because like sometimes the line is really thin, and if you don't have the group of people, the correct group of people with you that are gonna say to you, "Hey, you're breaking that line. Remember, you don't want to be cocky. You want to be confident." Things can really start going bad. My sports psychologist used to tell me this history about Marco Aurelius, that he used to have one guy, that the only job that this guy have is whispering to Marco Aurelius' ear, "You're just a man. Remember, you are just a man." And he's always saying that to me, like, you need to remember that you can lose again. So if you don't want that happen, you need to remember that thing, and you need to, like, what was the mistakes that lead you to that defeat, to that loss? And that's why I always kind of like constantly keep that in mind. Like, all right, I already lost once. Even if it was 10 years ago, or in this case, 3 years ago, I lost once. Why I lost it? Oh, because I didn't do this. Because when I need to run, I was like, oh, I might run tomorrow. And for me, it doesn't matter. Right now, if it's 12 a.m., if I say that I'm going to run today, I'm going to run today. And it doesn't matter if I didn't want to, I'm going to do it today. And kind of like that's the way that I'm doing the things in my fight camp, and it's been effective for me. So yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. I'm getting motivated right now. I want to get up and run. I just want to like do something. Like I just want to start doing push-ups. What about you? Any questions for him before we take off?
Golden Boy, obviously the nickname. Could we ever see you dress up like the Golden Boy?
No.
No,
Probably.
like Gold Dust?
No,
it's-
like,
no, like Gold Dust. You ever
Yeah,
the
or like
all the gold-
Oscar de la Hoya Golden
Yeah,
Boy.
oh,
That
yeah,
was like-
with the
and the
fish
heels,
net.
and that
You
was like,
know?
oh shit.
I
don't
mean,
know.
we are in Vegas. He did put out the other day that like they're like, oh, what about this? He's like, oh, dude, I was drugged.
Yeah.
He goes, I was so fucked up. I was like, you're in Vegas, dude. Never say never.
Well, yeah, never say never, but probably no. But what do you mean, like with?
I was talking. It was just a joke about
Yeah, it
Oscar
was-
De La Hoya.
Oh shit! Fuck Oscar de la Hoya. No, not like that. I hope not like that. At least not because I'm in drugs. Like, who knows? As you say,
He
like,
wants to do it out of his free will. Like,
Yeah.
This is just me. This is
I
me
might,
now.
I might just do it now, just for fun.
I can't wait to Halloween.
No,
I'm-
but you did talk a little bit about pacing your career out in 2-3 fights a year. How far out do you think you are from fighting in the top 15?
Oh, I definitely thought that this fight is gonna be a message, and again, that's kind of like the way that I'm seeing this stuff. This fight for me is a message to all the top 15, and I used to think that it would take longer, but right now I really feel that winning this fight, next fight I want to fight a guy that was already ranked, like Michael Johnson or Claudio Puelles, because those guys were already in the ranking, but now they are out of the ranking. I want to fight one of those guys, not particularly they both, but a guy
Yeah.
that are that like in that conditions. And then I want to close the next year fighting for a spot in the top 15. We're against a
Yeah.
top 15 guy, like to kind of like take.
and
his
you're
ranking.
young. There's no rush to be like, oh, I need Moicano. I need Gamra. It's like,
Right now, I don't feel that I need to say names because
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Like I'm here to fight whenever the UFC say. But the way that I'm thinking, I really feel that next year, at the end of the next year, I'm gonna be fighting for a top 15 spot. That's what 26 years old, already in the top 15. And from there, I feel that maybe just 2 years more, again, having the specific fights that I need, like really being aware of the space and the time that I need into fights, like between the fights. And yeah, maybe 28, 29 became world champ. That's the plan right now.
So like you were saying, the angry translator, what he really means is he doesn't need to say your names because he doesn't need to remember those names. He's going to beat you up, 10, 9, 8. He can fight you on the same day. It don't matter. In Mexico and here in Russia, wherever the case may be, he's going to get it done, right? I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
Basically.
I could be wrong.
And he's going to do it on his timetable.
In fishnets and all that. Whatever he
And
wants
in
to wear.
fishnet, that's the most important
And
part.
they're not going to
In
be ripped at
fishnets.
all. Like, dude, that's impressive. That's impressive. And then after the drugs.
Yeah, but yeah, pretty much that's the plan. Again, I've been planning a lot of things, and it's funny because a lot of those are working, but a lot of those are really not working. Because with UFC, as you say, sure, you know better than me. UFC don't give a fuck of what are your plans. If they say you are fighting tomorrow, you are fighting tomorrow, or they're gonna fire you.
Yeah.
So fucking, that's the plan. We need to see if the UFC aligns with the plan. If not, again, I'm ready for whatever.
So remember, he's ready to give his load to every single fighter in the division in the top 15. So be ready for a lot because he withdraws it for like a month and a half. That sucks. With that being said, can you give out your Instagram for people to follow you, please?
Sure. Yeah, my Instagram is Zellhuber for everybody to follow me. Also, my YouTube channel, Road to the Gold. We are always co-hosting Shorty in that one. So
I'm just the little special guest purple.
yeah,
in the back,
if you want to see the house,
I just stay quiet too. I don't say anything. I'm just in the back like.
No, but if you want,
Walk away.
to see the house that we're talking about, if you want to see everything that happens in that house, you can just go.
You want
and-
to see Lazy in the background, like.
Yeah, you can just go out there and check my YouTube channel, also my Instagram. In X, I think that in X I'm so Daniel Zellhuber or Daniel Golden Boy Zellhuber, whatever. It's pretty much the same. So go up
Just
and follow
Google
me,
him.
guys. And
Google.
thank you very much for everything.
Dude, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for being on the show. I'll see you at the house. I'm gonna buy you some little drops that you put into the toilet.
Yeah,
so
it's
it
like
doesn't
you're
smell.
saying goodbye,
And-
brother. We're gonna see each other in
and-
20 minutes. So why are you
I
fucking
would
talking
have
about
missed
it?
you, dude. It's so heartbreaking. I hate saying goodbye. It's like Simba when Mufasa died. It's like, I like it. Okay. Anyways, anything else?
I'm good.
That's a Shorty Show, episode 2. Out.
See you guys.